Hi everyone, welcome to the next video in this series from World of Flowers by Johanna Basford, using the Schpirerr Farben Pencils. And we've got this one here to do today, which I remember saying in the last video was looked rather like a sunflower. I'm tempted to do it in yellows and things, but I'll come in close, get my book in the correct position. We're certainly not needing it to be there. There we are. Excuse me, I've just had breakfast, a bit hoarse. And then we'll colour away. Now, I'm thinking for the leaves, we did some yellow ones in this piece here, and we're going to try and do them a little bit differently for here. I'm thinking maybe rather than doing browny yellows for the leaves, we'll use some slightly more orangey colours. I'm just having a look at what I've got. I'm actually going to start with the orange. It's a little bit daring, different, but I'm going to be careful because I don't want it to look orange, but I just want it to look a darker yellow. So at the base of each petal here, I'm just going to put a little bit of orange here and then gently spread it along a little bit like that. So I'm really trying not to press very hard. I don't want it to look really bright orange, and I'm hoping that when I put some yellow on top, it will turn it into a more yellowy looking shade. But a bit of an experiment. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We've still got a flower that I'm sure will look good amongst all our other colours. So I hope everyone's doing well today. It's very, very grey this morning. It is 20 to 9. I've just had breakfast. How late is that? But I did actually do a few things before breakfast, but shh, we're not. It's a Monday, and my husband doesn't work on a Monday, so we didn't get up particularly early. And it's so grey. It's would sort of due thunderstorms and all sorts. We had a lot of well, not a lot, 3 or 4 rumbles of thunder yesterday, and it was really warm and rainy, and it was very sort of muggy and tropical. It was quite nasty. But today I sensed it's probably cooler because we've started off rainy. We haven't had any sunshine at all, so we'll see what happens with the weather as the day progresses. Now I'm going to go for my most orangey yellow, which I think is the vanilla flower. It's a little bit brownish, more ochre-y, but I'm going to go for it. If you look at the tip, it looks quite orangey. This isn't going to be my final colour though. I'm going to go over this orange, you see, and it's starting to already look a bit more yellowy. Go just beyond the halfway mark, I think, of the petal. Excuse me. And then I'll pick another colour for the tip just to finish them off. Yeah, so we've forecast more thunderstorms. I've got to go out and post a few letters. So, well, I was going to go to the post office, but if it's really wet, I might just go to the supermarket because it's closer and there's a post box there. And I need some stuff from the supermarket anyway, but probably do me good to have the longer walk, to be honest. I'm not sure if anyone else is going to want to come with me. I didn't really ask them, so they won't sort of be preparing themselves for that. I did chat to my son about having a look at his CV. He was struggling a bit with it, so I looked at it and added a few things to it for him. Ideas really, so that he can flesh them out, sort of thing, decide if he thinks it's any good. I mean, he's never written one before. His brother has got his all done, but he had some he had to do his in class. This is yellow, and I'm going to go over the whole petal with this. And so he had some help and some advice on where to look and that sort of thing, and some people he chatted to his friends about it and all that sort of thing, whereas he hasn't had that in a class. But I think he needs to get it together because he's got to apply for placement this year, ready for next academic year. So I'm not sure what time of year they start doing that, and it's an additional task on top of all the assignments and other work that they have to do. So I felt that if I could get him working on his CV a little bit, to start with, then it would give him a little bit of a head start, you know, make it a little bit easier, especially, you know, while he's on holiday still. But yeah, it's I was having a lovely chat with him this morning about what he was going to be doing and putting on it. And he does some beta testing for computer games, and he quite fancies being a tester. I mean, obviously every kid would love to be a games tester, but he's realistic. I'm just thinking about the centre here, and realises that, you know, you're not everyone can be a games tester, and in fact most games companies don't use testers. This is the espresso. I'm going to use it for the middle. I'm going to go all over with a gentle layer first, and then do something else with it. Yeah, most kids would like to do that, and he knows this. And yeah, the programmers tend to test the games, and then they just put out a beta version and get people to test it for free. You know, oh, you can have a free go at the beta version if you test it for us, sort of thing. You know, and people will do that, so they don't really need to employ them. But I think he has tested a game before and got a free copy of the game, which he thought was pretty cool. But I mean, it's hardly going to pay the mortgage, is it? I mean, he doesn't need to pay a mortgage yet, but you know. So what I'm doing is I'm putting more layers down on the edge and less in the middle to try and make it look a little bit like the centre is rounded, not flat. It's hard to explain what I mean, but I'm going to get the dark brown and do a little more on the edges with this. So just on the edge, and make it darker. It looks like it's lower down, and it can trick the eye a little bit. There we go. Now we have our leafy corners to do. I would quite like just a sort of mid-green. I'm just seeing what we have got. It's a sort of mid-green. I'm thinking I was going to grab the golf course. I think that's probably the best choice. It's starting to rain again. I can just hear it falling. Where's the golf course? Sorry. Yeah. Right, here it is, golf course. It's a great name for a pencil, I think. I'm going to sharpen it though, because they're quite small, these little leaves, aren't they? Now these are very similar to the ones on the first flower that we did, but what I'm going to try and do with these is a layer more at this end and fade a bit towards the tip. But rather than keeping the tip quite faint, I'm actually going to layer this up so that there's still a fair bit of colour on that leaf. Yeah, I've got a lot planned for today. I thought I'd come and make some videos early, apparently while I'm still hoarse, and then I can be editing while I'm doing some of my other jobs, which is good. But I was looking forward to doing some videos from this page. It's a cute page, isn't it? Oh, I was going to say, if there's a page that you want doing, you can go to my Ko-fi commission section, and you can ask me to make a video of a particular page. You can even choose the book, you can choose the page, you can choose the pencils. There are different things that you can do within that. I'm just thinking about the background while I grab my hanky. I'm thinking that I think a light orangey peachy colour would probably work quite well to just pick out that orange in the centres on those petals. I'm going to use the pointy shoe, as it's called. It's a funny name. That's not it. Trying to find it. When I find it, there we go. I don't think you pronounce the E though. Point. You say point, don't you? It's like the ballet shoes, isn't it? So I'm just going to put down a layer of this. Now, on these ones, I haven't I've tried to put down an evenish background rather than fading it anywhere. I'm going to do the same thing with this. I want them all to sort of match. so it's going to be quite obvious what I'm doing here. Just trying to make it look like I'm putting down a fairly even layer. It's quite difficult, I think, but I'm just trying my best. It's all we can do, and having fun and feeling relaxed. I've been feeling a lot more relaxed last few days. It's quite odd. On Friday there was like a tension in the house, and me and husband went out and we had a lovely time, and when we came back my boys were in terrible moods. They'd had an argument, they can't remember what about, you know, it wasn't anything important, and what happens is if one of the boys is in a bit of a bad mood, you need to just keep your distance or be careful what you're saying, or else he gets very stressed. My other son doesn't care about that, and he can wind him up sometimes, and sometimes he can take it and sometimes he can't, but he doesn't test the waters, he just winds him up. And then my husband had a bit of a he got himself a bit stressed about something as well, and then my son was stressed, and it was just like, oh. But the day after, everyone slept in, had lots of sleep, and for the last 3 days everyone's been relaxed, calm and happy, so that's good. We were talking this morning, did the sleep help, or was he tired? Were we tired because we were stressed? We couldn't work it out, but either way it's all good. Right, there we are, little simple flower. I rather like it, I have to say. We've got 2 left. I'm looking forward to having the page done because it's always a really satisfying feeling, but slightly sad. It's been a really long series and I've really enjoyed every picture, but hopefully I will see you tomorrow. Well, I won't see you, you won't see me, you see my hands. So tune in tomorrow. Please do like and subscribe and comment. Thank you so much for watching, and happy colouring.